Hey guys, so in this video, I just want to share with you the different levels that you can be at in your business and how that plays out to the direction that you're going. And the reason I'm talking about this is because the course that you're actually going through right now, it's a course that's meant to help you level up, but it's also not the only resource that's out there for you. So I'm going to try and share with you guys an understanding of where you might be at in your business, and then also what resources are available to you at different levels of business. So the first level of business is existence. Um, this means that you're just trying to exist. You haven't actually gotten any paying guests in the door yet. You're just working on your business plan, your framework, trying to figure out how to actually get those first paying guests in. And that means you've probably got no cash flow unless you have it from some previous venture or you stashed up cash somewhere else under the mattress, I don't know, wherever. So as far as resources go for that, I have a podcast called Tourism Marketing Mastery. So you can look that up anywhere that you can find podcasts. You can look up Tourism Marketing Mastery and you'll find that podcast. And then we've created at least one book now and we're working on a couple more and then a few videos as well. And we're trying to give all that away for free. And it's good information. It's information that I've used even at the highest levels of business, but I'm trying to make sure that we make it accessible for those that need it, especially if you haven't started yet. It helps, at least it's helped me in my life to have someone that's been there a few steps ahead that's giving me some direction. And I hadn't had that in tourism, and that's why I'm trying to create a community that can create that, so that we have that resource for each other. But you can start looking in some of those places I mentioned. So the next level of business is survival. And survival is when the business starts to bring in guests and it's making money, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's making profit. And it's not unusual for a lot of businesses, especially in destination tourism, to exist in a survival mode for years and sometimes decades. And you're in survival mode if you're bringing money in the door, you're managing to pay yourself a wage, and maybe you're paying even a few staff members a wage, but at the end of the year, there's really nothing left over. That means that you are in survival mode. And what we want to try and do is get you out of survival mode, because you don't want to be in survival mode. Survival mode means that you have to go to work every day, whether you want to or not. You have to do the things that you don't want to do, whether you want to or not. And there's an option beyond that. So we want to get you beyond that. As far as resources, where you're at right now is a great resource. So Instagram Marketing Secrets, we're going to continue to create programs, but this was a program that was the most effective for bringing those bookings to the door to get you out of just survival mode so that we can increase the revenues and therefore increase the profits. So we can move to the next stage, and that is the success stage. And the success stage, the defining factor between survival and success is that you've now got profits to play with. So at the end of the day, not only have you paid yourself, but you are paying staff. And then ideally at the success stage, what that looks like is you've hired a manager or managers to take over your day-to-day roles, so that you're not the one that has to be doing the operational stuff every day. And if you're moving into the success stage, a resource that we've got there is the Tourism Freedom Coaching. So the Tourism Freedom Program is where we walk you through, not just myself, but other individuals as well that are kind of the best in their areas, whether that's management or finance or select areas of marketing or legal, walking you through what are the best practices to make sure that you are moving through this stage in a way that is thought out and systematic. A lot of times in the success stage, what really starts to become important is implementing systems. And so we're going to be sharing with you what those systems look like. And there's a clear path that takes you through the success stage, and into the next stage, which is expansion. Expansion is when you've got those systems in place, you've got the right people in place, you've got the right managers, the right staff, the right culture. And in the expansion stage, what we're looking for here is we're actually looking to grow rapidly. I've heard this stage be called the takeoff or the blast off stage. This is where you're growing rapidly. So the systems, because you've got systems in place, now you're able to actually scale. And scale is a fancy business word for grow. You can grow really fast because the systems allow you to grow fast. If you don't have systems, you're not going to be able to grow rapidly. It's just, I've never seen it happen unless you've got those things in place. So in the expansion stage, you need a different set of skills. You need a different way of looking at the world. And in this instance, we've got Destination Masters, and this is a mastermind group. So in that success segment, we had the Tourism Freedom Coaching. We take a maximum of 1,000 students because rather than us just expanding on the student side, we want to ask ourselves, once we've hit that 1,000, how can we make sure that we're continuing to deliver on a high level, and we don't want to water it down from there. So we take a maximum of 1,000 tourism managers, owners, to get them to that level. The Destination Masters, that is a mastermind for levels that are individuals that are at that expansion stage, and they've got a business, it's running, they've got systems in place, they're growing, but they are looking at, hey, what are the opportunities that I don't see? And so we've got a mastermind group with a maximum of 100 people in that group, and that's called Destination Masters. Now, there's a fifth stage of business on top of that. After you've kind of had massive and rapid growth, you will hit this stage called maturity. And in maturity, what that means is that your growth actually slows, and that's okay, because at that maturity stage, when the growth starts to slow, that's when we can get a little bit more innovative with looking at, hey, what are new opportunities, new markets, new businesses that we can get into. Also, in that maturity stage, you tend to have a lot more influence in the market, and you can, because you're big enough, you can actually to some way sway how the market responds to you. You have less opportunity to be nimble, but you have a lot more opportunity to actually just change the market to your needs as opposed to changing to the market's needs. And it's an interesting position to be in. Not a lot of people that are at the maturity stage where they have the ability to influence global market, but a few individuals are. And so in that group, we have the Global Kings Council for a maximum of 10 resort, typically owners that are in that group, or high-level managers, and they will be really, they kind of dictate what the future of tourism is going to look like. So interesting growth process there. Anyway, so I don't know exactly what level of business you're at. What I can tell you is that the course that you're taking right now, it can apply to all levels, just because it's fairly innovative, it's fairly new what we're doing. I haven't seen it even at the high levels of business in other businesses, and so we're going to be sharing that with you. But just having a look at this, understanding where you're at, and knowing that there's a next level to go to, and understanding that, you know, wherever you're at, there's a place to go that's beyond that, and there's a community that's there for you. So wanted to make sure you're aware of what your path is, so you're aware of what your path is before we move on to any of the next videos. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.